Buckeye fans, welcome in. It is an Ohio State football game day as we are here live inside of Ross-Ade Stadium on the campus of Purdue University, about 90 minutes from kickoff between the Ohio State Buckeyes and the Purdue Boilermakers. Thanks for jumping in with me here. We got a lot of videos on the page today. You guys are killing it. Got a ton of views all across the site today. So if you're back with me here, awesome. Thanks for jumping back in. If you're new to the page, to the channel, to me, it's great to have you along. Make sure you're subscribing to our YouTube channel. Make sure you're getting over to Buckeyes Roundtable. It's on the bottom scroll right now. It's a new site. A lot of fun over there. You can follow me. You can interact directly with me. We have a ton of content there every single day, and we'll have a ton of content today as Ohio State prepares to take on the Purdue Boilermakers. Now, this game, everyone kind of knows what this game is really all about. Ohio State and Purdue come in two totally different teams on two totally different trajectories. First, for the Purdue Boilermakers, come into today 2-7, fresh off of a 5-point loss to the Michigan Wolverines last week in a game that they fought really hard, but it's been just a very long season for Purdue. They don't do too much well, but as it is every week, one way to totally correct that and turn it all around is to beat the number one team in the country, and that's the Ohio State Buckeyes. Ohio State comes into today absolutely rolling. A perfect, flawless 8-0 record, looking to move that thing to 9-0 here in Week 11. That hurts to say, Week 11, but they're looking to move to 9-0. In this game, there's not much from an X's and O perspective that you should have your eye on. But what I do think we can learn a lot about of this Buckeyes team today is how are they going to handle this, right? This has been a year where, unfortunately, the opponents that they've matched up against, and you can't apologize for your schedule, and you have to play the teams that are on your schedule, but they haven't had murderer's row of opponents to this point in the season, and today isn't going to be that. So what they have proven all year long is that they have this really mature business-like approach to every single game, no matter if it's Texas in Week 1, no matter if it's Grambling State in Week 2, or if it's Purdue today. They come in, they respect their opponent, they give their opponent the utmost respect, and they approach every game like it's their last, and they play that way. They play like it's their last as well, and that part's really exciting, and it makes it really fun to watch this team, to cheer for this team, and to really root this team on, because they don't take any of these Saturdays off. They do not take one Saturday for granted, and I don't expect that to start today. What I'm really looking for is, and you'll know right away, and we've known this every week so far. I think back to Penn State last week where they kick off, Penn State gets the football, they have the really nice play on first down, they gain like 26 yards, and then Ohio State's defense just buckles down and forces a punt. Well, what does Penn State do? They hit a really nice punt, and they back Ohio State up at the 11-yard line. They got 89 yards to go. And how does Ohio State handle that? They just go, boom, perfectly right down the field. Julian Salem was flawless. The first play was a perfectly protected in-cut to Carnell Tate for a 20-yard gain, and the Buckeyes were off and rolling, and they punched that opening drive in with a connection to Jeremiah Smith. I'm expecting and hoping, really watching to see how they start this football game. Good teams just come in and take care of business. Great teams come in and take care of business, and I'm really expecting the Buckeyes to do that and do it right from the jump. Right? They haven't played with their food at all throughout any points of this year, and again, don't expect that to happen today. Now, kind of more X's and O's wise, what are we looking for on the offensive side of the ball? The first thing, and I think the most important thing that I'll have my eye on is what is this running game going to be? Ryan Day made a pretty profound comment earlier this week about the pace that this team plays at, right? This is a group that, to this point in the year has chased efficiency. That was his direct quote, that Ohio State is chasing efficiency. They're not chasing points. They're not chasing style points or points on the scoreboard. They're trying to be the most efficient group. And part of that is that it saves the team's legs. It takes hits off of this team that's preparing for a 16-game season, not a 10-game or 12-game regular season. So that's always important to keep note. But he did say, hey, when it's time to turn it on, or he said, when it's time to put the foot on the gas or put the pedal to the metal, we're going to do that. And they have that level. And that part's really scary. Like, to this point, like, the only team that's even gives Ohio State a scare in all of college football this year is the Indiana Hoosiers, because they've come out and just pummeled opponents. And they, right out of the locker room, they come out and it's foot on the gas all the way, high tempo, high speed, and they're putting up 50, 60, 70 points on opponents. That's not the personality of Ohio State. But Ryan Day is saying that Ohio State has that level. They could drop that clutch, throw that thing into fifth, and go. And we may not see that today, but we may start seeing, like, hey, a couple clues here and there. We saw it last week. They come out of that locker room and it's right away, boom, 57 yards to Carnell Tate. Right away. They have that ability to take the top off of defenses and really push the tempo. They haven't needed it yet, but they do have the ability to do so. So I'm curious to see how that factors in today. But more importantly, how does the run game factor into that? Because I've talked about all the good things Ohio State does, and all of it has been through the passing game. Julian Saint's been perfect all year long, and Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith have proven that they're not only the best receiver duo in the country, they may be the two best receivers, period, in the country, and May is even a stretch. I think they are. For my money, I would say that those two are. But the one area that Ohio State isn't elite at, it is running the football. And it is that group of four that they've been rolling through. C.J. Donaldson, James Peoples, Bo Jackson, and Isaiah West in the backfield. Neither one of them has really taken the position by just a grasp of the position. You wouldn't expect either the young guys to do it in West or Jackson. Probably we're expecting a little bit more out of C.J. Donaldson, but hey, if he is what he is, and you have a 3rd and 2 or a 4th and 1, you can hand that football off to number 12, and he's just going to punch it right up the gut and do anything he can to move the sticks. If you can hear a little mic test in the background, that's what that is. But I'm really curious to see how Ohio State's run game tries to evolve today, because we're at a point in the season where, hey, if they try it and they can't get it going, they're just going to go away from it. Like, there's no more time to keep experimenting. It's like do or die time. And it's either, hey, we're going to major in the pass game, or we do have a semblance of a run game that we can balance this offense out. Ideally, they would be 50-50, right? When they were rolling last year, Travion Henderson and Quinshon Judkins had just as many yards as Will Howard had passing. So that's what they're aiming for. If they can get to it, awesome. I expect to see them at least try today to make improvements on that front. Now, when we flip this thing over to the defensive side of the ball, this group is insane. I mean, Arvell Reese has been the talk of the town this week. So many people, the secret's out on him, largely regarded as the best player that's going to be available in the 2026 NFL draft. And it's happened really quickly. Like, good on Arvell. This is a kid who, this is his first real chance to make an impact on a play-by-play basis for Ohio State, and he's taken full advantage of it. He's been a special teams ace the last couple of years for Ohio State. Like, just hasn't had the opportunity to get on the field because, Cody Simon and Sonny Styles were in front of him. Now that Cody goes out and leaves, and by the way, a little side note, Cody's getting the green dot out in Arizona this week, which we'll have a story up on Roundtable tomorrow prior to kickoff. But when Cody leaves, Sonny basically bumps over and becomes that leader, that Mike linebacker, and then Arvell comes in. And what really was the most important piece about this is that Arvell gets his starting opportunity at the same time that Matt Patricia becomes the defensive coordinator. Matt Patricia brought with him an NFL-style defense where when you have an NFL-like defense, you say, hey, where's my best pass rusher? And it's number 8. How do I get him in advantageous situations? The marriage between Arvell and Matt Patricia has been so insane. Marry that up with Caleb Downs and Sonny Styles. This defense is smart, they're tough, and they have the best players on the field at all times. That's what's made them so fun to watch, and that's what's made them so boring to watch. And boring in this context is the highest compliment I can give, because they just kill teams. They grab them, they suffocate them, and they make it damn near impossible for opposing offenses to move the football and opposing offenses to certainly score. I'm not expecting the Boilermakers today to get much rolling there. But I would say the biggest thing that Ohio State needs to do today is get out of Dodge healthy. They are, as it stands right now, they are 28.5-point favorites in this football game. Just win the football game and get back to Columbus intact. We don't need any crazy big injuries. We don't need any of the important pieces being lost to an injury in a game that, Ohio State could really roll out and win, not in a disrespectful way, but just get out of here and get some of these guys who, if they put up a good first half or they get up with a big lead, get some of the young guys in, get some of the rotational pieces and get them some good experience in an amazing environment. I'm really excited to see what today is like. I shared this in our short that's on our YouTube channel. It's my first time here inside of Ross-Ade Stadium. I was always curious to see if the field was as good as it looked on TV, and I think that it is. This truly gives me Rose Bowl vibes, where the grass is perfect, the paint is perfect. This is just it approaches football. Ohio is just unbelievable. The Horseshoe is the biggest in the world. This is a really cool, intimate environment. This campus is gorgeous. Really impressed by this stadium. And if you're coming today, awesome. Enjoy the heck out of the game. If you're watching at home, really important. This game kicks off at 1 p.m. This is not an NFL game. This is not at our typical noon slot. This is a 1 p.m. kickoff, and it'll be a ton of fun. All right, I gave my prediction last night. I think Ohio State rolls. The number that I'm thinking for this one is with the spread being 28.5. Last night it was 30.5 when we recorded our morning show. It's moved down 2 points. I mean, I just don't see Ohio State really pushing the tempo much today, but I do think that their defense is so good and the offense will do enough to cover that spread. I'm picturing the Buckeyes somewhere in the 30s and Purdue below 10 points. My final prediction, as I've thought about it, 38-3 Ohio State. That's a 35-point difference. Do with that what you will. I've been hot. I've actually been okay with some of my predictions, but I'm not special. It's not that hard to handicap these Ohio State Buckeyes because they're really damn good. A lot of fun coming your way today here on the Buckeyes Roundtable YouTube channel and on Buckeyes Roundtable our page. We'll be back here. I'm going to be in this like exact spot for our post-game analysis. Brennan will be joining me. We'll be breaking down everything we see today from this Ohio State team. Really excited to do that. That'll come after Coach and some select players speak, which you can get on our YouTube channel. I will have that video live in the third quarter, so you can get in there and wait to hear what Coach has to say. So after all that, we'll have a ton of content. Me and the rest of the team will have a ton of content over on the site for you to read tonight, tomorrow, and the rest of the weekend here. So make sure you're following along. Make sure you're subscribed to this YouTube channel. Make sure you're following along with all things Buckeyes on the Buckeyes Roundtable page and getting excited for a perfect football Saturday. It's almost mid-November. We're going to have a beautiful overcast day, one that hopefully the Buckeyes get out of here with great memories. Thanks for jumping in and joining me this morning. Excited for another week of Ohio State football. We'll be back with you post-game here on the Buckeyes Roundtable YouTube channel.